Have you ever felt a constant pain that seems inexplicable? Maybe it's a tension in your back, a persistent headache, or even that feeling that something is wrong inside you, but you can't pinpoint the reason. What if I told you that this might be connected to unresolved emotions, trapped energy, or even spiritual blockages preventing you from achieving your true balance and well-being? Stay with me, because today you will discover how these pains, often ignored or treated superficially, are actually powerful messages from your body and soul. By understanding this, you will have the opportunity to transform not only your health but your entire life, regaining control over your energy, your purpose, and your well-being. What I am about to reveal here can completely change the way you perceive your pains and show you how listening to your body can be the first step to overcoming spiritual blockages and transforming your journey. The pains you feel, whether in the body, mind, or soul, are often messages. The universe, or even God, is trying to tell you something. Think of them as the heat of the fire that transforms raw iron into a sharp sword. Similarly, your pains are the fire that can shape you into something extraordinary. They are not a punishment, but a call to transformation. Many of us have been taught to see pain as something negative, something to be avoided. But in fact, it is precisely in adversity that our spirit finds the strength to grow, evolve, and awaken. This awakening can be the beginning of a greater purpose that you can't even imagine. Perhaps you are going through a devastating loss. Someone important is gone, or you lost something that meant the world to you. Maybe rejection is the most painful. The feeling of not being accepted, whether by a person, a group, or even by life itself. Or perhaps you are living in a phase of stagnation, without purpose, without direction. It could be loneliness, that emptiness in your chest, as if no one around you really understands what you are going through. Or financial problems that make you feel like you are trapped in an endless cycle of scarcity. If you are experiencing any of these situations, or maybe all of them at once, know this: you are not alone. Many people feel exactly what you are feeling right now. And more importantly, none of this is happening by chance. These pains have a purpose. It may not seem like it now, but there is something greater guiding you. Something that will take you to a level of understanding and strength that you never thought possible. Each pain, each challenge, is a step on the path to your spiritual awakening. And that is exactly what I will talk about in this video. What do these pains mean? Why are they here, and how can they become the key to your spiritual awakening? Stay with me until the end, because this revelation can completely change the way you face the difficulties in your life. Pain is not an end, but a beginning. The pains you feel, whether physical, emotional, or existential, are not simple misfortunes. They are encoded messages, clear signs that something in your life is about to change profoundly. In a spiritual context, pain is often used as a divine tool to awaken your consciousness, helping you align with the greater purpose that was meant for you. God, the universe, or the higher energy that governs all things, uses these moments of discomfort to catch your attention and make you question the status quo. Just as a farmer plows the soil before planting, these pains serve to prepare your soul to receive something greater. Imagine the process by which gold is purified. It is exposed to intense heat, melted, and separated from impurities. The same principle applies to your spiritual journey. The pains you feel are the fire that is removing what is not essential, shaping you to become the best version of yourself. As challenging as it may be, it is important to remember that these experiences are not punishments but necessary steps toward your awakening. When you see your pains as lessons rather than obstacles, you begin to realize that each challenge carries a greater purpose. Physical pains are often the easiest to ignore or justify as simple bodily discomforts. However, in a spiritual context, they can represent energetic blockages or profound transformations in progress. You may feel unexplained fatigue, persistent insomnia, or even strange sensations like tingling in certain parts of your body. These symptoms can be signs that your energy is adjusting to a new level of consciousness. It is as if your body is being recalibrated to sustain a higher vibrational frequency. Instead of resisting, embrace these changes as part of your spiritual growth. Emotional pain can be overwhelming. Deep sadness, a sense of emptiness, or anxiety without an apparent cause often accompany moments of spiritual transition. These feelings, though uncomfortable, are making room for you to release old emotional patterns that no longer serve your purpose. Think of it as needing to clear a space before decorating it. Allow yourself to feel, acknowledge, and process these emotions without judgment. They are the path to healing and self-knowledge. God uses these pains to lead you to look within yourself and understand the origin of your wounds. One of the most profound aspects of spiritual awakening is existential questioning. Why am I here? What is my purpose? These questions may arise accompanied by an identity crisis, where everything that once made sense seems to lose its meaning. This type of pain is a clear indication that you are being called to a greater mission. It's as if your soul is crying out for you to reconnect with the divine plan. Although this search may seem lonely, it is necessary for you to discover the true path that God has prepared for you. Every pain felt, whether physical, emotional, or existential, is intrinsically linked to a process of energetic recalibration. When you are about to align with a higher level of spirituality, your body, mind, and soul go through a period of adjustment. This transition can be uncomfortable because you are leaving behind old patterns, limiting beliefs, and energies that no longer correspond to your true essence. The pain is a sign that you are growing, changing, and evolving to become who you were born to be. One of the biggest challenges in spiritual awakening is accepting pain as part of the process. The natural tendency is to resist or seek quick ways to relieve the discomfort. However, resistance only prolongs the experience. When you understand that each pain carries a message and a purpose, you begin to embrace these moments with gratitude and patience. Just as a butterfly needs to struggle to emerge from its chrysalis, your pains are what strengthen your spiritual wings. You are not alone. This is a process that many chosen ones face as they walk towards their divine purpose. Each pain contains a specific lesson. Physical pains may be teaching you to take better care of your body. Emotional pains may be showing the need to release wounds from the past, and existential pains may be pointing to the importance of seeking answers beyond the material. As you begin to notice the patterns in your pains, you can decipher the messages the universe is sending. This is the point where pain transforms into wisdom and gives you the tools needed to navigate spiritual awakening. In the most intense moments of your pains, it may seem that God is distant. However, it is precisely in these moments that you are closest to Him. God allows you to go through these experiences so that you can turn to Him for guidance, strength, and wisdom. He is shaping you to become a more powerful instrument in His divine plan. When you trust in this process, you discover an inner strength you never imagined possessing. This is where spiritual awakening truly begins to flourish. Faith is what keeps you steady during the most difficult moments of your spiritual journey. Knowing that there is a greater purpose behind each pain helps you continue, even when everything seems to be falling apart. You are not being punished, but prepared. God is refining you like gold in the fire so that you can shine with all your potential. By accepting your pains with confidence and determination, you become a channel of light and inspiration for others who are also facing their journeys of spiritual awakening. Throughout history, both in sacred literature and personal narratives, we find stories that reveal how pain is a catalyst for profound transformations. In the Bible, for example, the story of Job is a clear testimony to this. He faced unimaginable losses, both physical and emotional, but his unwavering faith allowed him to emerge stronger, with a renewed understanding of God and himself. Another frequently mentioned parable is that of the grain of wheat, which needs to die to germinate and bear fruit. These stories teach us that, no matter how challenging our pains may be, they are always the prelude to a new stage of growth and spiritual realization. The spiritual perspective is clear. Pain forces us to turn our attention inward. When everything around us seems uncertain, we are invited to dive into our essence and find the divine there. This idea is reflected in various spiritual traditions that see pain as a call for self-knowledge and reconnection with the creative energy. In moments of pain, you can discover strengths you never imagined possessing, better understand your purpose, and even feel God's presence more tangibly. These experiences, though difficult, are bridges to a higher level of spirituality. One of the most important steps to embrace pain is to reflect on what it might be communicating. Take a moment of silence and ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? It might be a call to take better care of your body, to forgive something or someone, or even to realign your values with your spiritual purpose. Write your answers in a notebook, without judgment. This simple but powerful practice helps make sense of what seems chaotic, transforming suffering into learning and growth. Conscious breathing is a powerful tool to embrace pain without being overwhelmed by it. When you feel discomfort, physically or emotionally, stop for a few minutes and focus on your breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose, holding the air for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Imagine that with each exhale, you are releasing the tension, fear, and resistance associated with your pain. This practice helps bring clarity and calm, allowing you to deal with the situation more consciously and present. Writing is one of the most therapeutic tools in the process of embracing pain. Take a notebook and allow yourself to put on paper everything you are feeling, without filters or fear of judgment. Write about the pains you face, the doubts you carry, and the questions that still have no answers. This act of expressing yourself allows you to release repressed emotions, identify patterns, and often see solutions that were previously obscured. Additionally, keeping a journal can become a valuable record of how you overcame challenges, serving as inspiration for future difficult moments. Guided meditation is another effective technique for dealing with spiritual and emotional pains. There are many meditations available that are specific to embracing pain and finding inner peace. Find a quiet space, put on headphones, and allow yourself to be guided by a voice that leads you to a state of relaxation and surrender. During the meditation, you can visualize your pain as a dark cloud that gradually dissipates, replaced by a bright light that fills your entire being. This practice helps strengthen your connection with the divine and provides immediate relief. One of the most difficult yet transformative lessons is to accept pain rather than resist it. When you embrace pain as part of your journey, it loses its power to control you. You begin to see it as a teacher, not as an enemy. This acceptance does not mean that you are resigning to suffering, but rather that you are willing to learn and grow from it. God does not place challenges in your life that you are not capable of overcoming. Trust in this process and know that each step is bringing you closer to your purpose. Taking care of yourself is essential to get through periods of spiritual pain. Often, we neglect our physical and emotional well-being while facing difficulties, but it is precisely in these moments that self-care becomes most important. Nourish your body with healthy foods, engage in light exercises like yoga or nature walks, and allow yourself moments of rest. Remember that your spiritual journey is sustained by your body, and honoring this temple is a way of thanking it for its resilience. While spiritual awakening is largely an individual process, finding a supportive community can make all the difference. Sharing your experiences with people who are going through similar journeys creates a sense of belonging and relief. Look for meditation groups, online forums, or spiritual communities where you can listen to other stories and share yours. These connections not only validate your experience, but also offer new perspectives and insights that can help you navigate your own pains. By overcoming the pains that accompany spiritual awakening, you emerge as a stronger, more conscious, and enlightened being. Each challenge faced becomes a testimony to your strength and resilience. You not only draw closer to your purpose, but also become a light for those around you, inspiring others to face their own journeys. All pain is temporary, but the growth and transformation it brings are eternal. Trust the process, embrace the journey, and know that you are being guided by something much greater. The beginning of spiritual awakening, often called the call, is a moment of profound transformation, although it can initially be unsettling. This stage is marked by pains, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, that begin to emerge intensely and often inexplicably. These pains are not just signs of discomfort, but indications that something greater is being activated within you. It's as if the universe is using these experiences to catch your attention and say, "It's time to wake up." People who experience this stage often wonder why they are suffering so much, but what they do not immediately realize is that these pains are an invitation to look beyond the superficial and start seeking deeper answers. One of the most fascinating aspects of this stage is how the pains often come with subtle signs trying to direct you towards the path of awakening. These signs can appear as repeating patterns in your life, such as always attracting the same type of people or experiencing similar situations that seem to repeat for no apparent reason. While initially frustrating, these patterns are like coded messages from the universe, suggesting that you need to learn something fundamental before moving to the next level. The key here is to recognize these patterns and start reflecting on what they are trying to teach. Another powerful sign that many report is vivid dreams. During stage 1, dreams can become clearer, more intense, and filled with symbolism. They may bring images, messages, or even feelings that linger with you upon waking. Often, these dreams are how your soul tries to communicate, sending clues about what is to come or revealing hidden aspects of your own journey. Even if they are not always easy to interpret, these dreams awaken an innate curiosity and a desire to explore their deeper meaning. Synchronicities are also a common phenomenon during the call. Suddenly, you may start to notice specific numbers appearing frequently, like 1111, or seemingly unrelated events aligning in inexplicable ways. Perhaps you are thinking about something, and soon after, you see a sign related to it in a song, a billboard, or even in a random conversation. These coincidences are not random. They are reminders that you are connected to something greater and that there is a divine plan guiding your journey. It's as if the universe is winking at you, saying, "You are on the right path." The call is a stage of awakening that can seem chaotic and confusing, but it is essential for spiritual growth. The pains and signs you experience are awakening tools, designed to help you align with your true essence. Instead of resisting, the key to navigating this stage is to embrace it with openness and curiosity. Understanding that these experiences have a greater purpose can transform the way you face them, allowing you to start unlocking the hidden potential within yourself. This is the beginning of an incredible journey, where you will discover that behind all these pains lies a spiritual truth ready to be revealed. After the initial call, many people enter stage 2 of spiritual awakening, resistance. This is the moment when the ego, the part of us deeply tied to identity and security in the physical world, begins to fight against imminent changes. The ego, as useful as it is for keeping us grounded in reality, fears transformation because it represents the unknown. It prefers the comfort zone, even if that zone includes suffering or limitations. This resistance can manifest as an intensification of the pains from the first stage, such as fear, anxiety, doubts, or even existential crises. Essentially, the ego does everything it can to prevent you from advancing, as it sees transformation as a threat to its survival. This resistance creates an internal battle, where you feel one part of you crying out for evolution, while another desperately tries to keep things as they are. This conflict can be extremely uncomfortable and cause additional suffering, often leading to feelings of confusion or disorientation. It is at this point that many people give up on the awakening process, believing they are not ready or that they are broken. However, this resistance is natural and part of the process. Recognizing that the ego is only trying to protect you can bring clarity and relieve the pressure of fighting against it. A practical and transformative tool to overcome resistance is to identify and release limiting beliefs. The ego is often fueled by these beliefs, which are deeply rooted ideas about who we are, what we deserve, and how the world works. For example, you might believe that you are not good enough, that you do not deserve prosperity, or that changes always lead to failure. These beliefs, often acquired during childhood or through past experiences, act as invisible anchors, keeping you trapped in cycles of repetition and suffering. To break free, it is crucial to identify these beliefs and question their validity. An effective method for this is guided self-reflection. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Does it really reflect the truth? And what would happen if I chose to believe something different? By bringing these beliefs to consciousness, you begin to realize that they are not absolute truths, but stories you have been telling yourself. With this new perspective, you can replace them with more empowering beliefs, such as I am worthy of love and growth, or transformation is safe and necessary. Releasing limiting beliefs requires practice and patience. Some people find value in practices like meditation, journaling, or daily affirmations to help reprogram the mind. Each time you choose to let go of a belief that no longer serves you, you are breaking the barriers created by the ego and allowing your spiritual essence to manifest. This stage is not about destroying the ego but integrating it, teaching it that transformation is not a threat, but an opportunity for growth. As you progress in this process, you will notice that the suffering caused by resistance diminishes, making way for more clarity, peace, and spiritual alignment. After the turbulence of resistance, spiritual awakening progresses to stage 3, surrender. This is a moment of profound transformation, where you begin to accept that the pains you have faced were not in vain. It is here that you realize that each challenge, each obstacle, and each suffering had a greater purpose, to guide you closer to your divine essence. Surrender does not mean giving up or conforming, but rather yielding to the flow of life and trusting that there is a higher intelligence guiding your path. This stage marks the beginning of a spiritual realignment, where you stop fighting against circumstances and start collaborating with them. One of the most powerful teachings that emerge in this stage is the truth contained in the phrase, God does not give battles greater than you can bear. When you understand and accept this, you start to look at your pains and difficulties with new eyes. Instead of seeing them as punishments or injustices, You begin to view them as tests designed to strengthen your soul and prepare you for a greater purpose. This realization brings a sense of relief as you start to trust that even in the darkest moments, there is a divine plan working in your favor. It's as if a weight is lifted off your shoulders, allowing you to finally breathe and feel the peace that comes from trusting in something greater. Surrender is also a moment of deep connection with the present. Often, during the initial stages of awakening, the focus is on the past or future expectations. However, in this stage, you begin to realize that true transformation happens when you allow yourself to live in the now. Accepting the present moment, with all its pains and blessings, is an act of courage and faith. It is here that you begin to align with your divine essence, recognizing that your true strength lies not in controlling everything around you, but in trusting and flowing with the rhythm of life. This stage also offers the opportunity to transform beliefs about suffering and growth. Often, we are conditioned to believe that suffering is something to be avoided at all costs. However, surrender reveals that suffering, when accepted with an open heart, is a portal to healing and learning. You begin to understand that the battles you faced do not define your identity, but rather the growth they provided. This change in perspective is liberating, allowing you to find gratitude even in the most challenging experiences. Surrender is not an endpoint, but the beginning of a deeper and more conscious journey. It is a moment of alignment where you start to operate according to your divine essence instead of fighting against it. In this stage, practices like meditation, prayer, and gratitude become even more powerful as they help strengthen your connection with the divine and maintain your faith during challenging times. As you progress, you will notice that suffering transforms into wisdom, and the pains of the past become the foundation for the purpose God has reserved for you. Surrender, though challenging, is the stage that allows your inner light to shine more brightly, enabling you to embrace your true spiritual identity. Stage 4 of spiritual awakening, known as expansion, is a moment of overflow. Here, the pain that once seemed unbearable begins to transform into something powerful, wisdom and compassion. It is in this stage that you realize the challenges and battles were not just for your own growth, but also so that you could become a beacon for others. Expansion is characterized by an expanded consciousness, where your perspective shifts from being solely about yourself to encompassing the collective. You understand that your personal journey is part of a greater plan, and that the lessons you have learned have the potential to positively impact those around you. The transformation of pain into wisdom is one of the most profound aspects of this stage. The lessons you have absorbed on your journey begin to make sense in a broader way. You not only understand the why of the challenges, but also how they have shaped your essence and strengthened your connection with the divine. This wisdom is not just intellectual, it is lived and felt. It manifests in how you view life, the decisions you make, and how you respond to the world. It's as if the scars of the past are now medals of honor, each telling a story of overcoming and learning. This wisdom naturally transforms into compassion. When you expand your consciousness, you realize that everyone is at different stages of their own spiritual journeys. The pains and difficulties you have faced now enable you to look at others with empathy and understanding. You begin to see beyond people's superficial actions and recognize the internal struggles that often motivate them. This compassion is not condescension, but a genuine feeling of connection and desire to help. You understand that, just as you were guided by signs, you can also be a guide for those who are still at the beginning of their own journeys. One of the most powerful reflections in this stage is how to use the lessons learned to help others. This can take many forms, from sharing your story and learnings to offering practical or emotional support to those going through difficulties. Expansion invites you to be a channel of light, allowing your journey to inspire and empower others. This is the moment when you begin to realize that your individual experience is not isolated, but part of a larger network of spiritual growth and transformation that connects all of humanity. Expansion is not just about helping others, it also strengthens your own purpose. Every time you share your lessons or extend a hand to someone in need, you reinforce the learning you have acquired and deepen your connection with your divine essence. This is the stage where you discover that true joy is not just in achieving your own peace, but in contributing to the peace and growth of those around you. Expansion is the point where the cycle of suffering completes, transforming into a cycle of healing and service, allowing you to become a bridge between pain and light for everyone who crosses your path. The pains of the past are often seen as scars that we carry forever. However, on the spiritual journey, they can be transformed into essential tools to fulfill the purpose that God has outlined for your life. Imagine your wounds as raw coal. While they may seem like just marks, within them is the potential to become diamonds. The secret lies in reinterpreting these experiences, seeing them in a new light. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "How has this transformed me?" This shift in perspective opens doors to healing and true connection with your purpose. Suffering may seem like an unbearable burden, but it is also one of the greatest catalysts for spiritual growth. All great stories of overcoming begin with moments of intense difficulty. These challenges serve as tests of our faith and opportunities to develop resilience. When we view our pains as essential parts of our journey, we begin to realize that even in the darkest moments, God was shaping us for something greater. Pain is not the end, it is just a part of the transformation process. Rewriting your narrative is an act of power. Think of how nature transforms the driest environments into lush landscapes when the right season arrives. In the same way, your wounds, no matter how deep, can become sources of strength when you decide to use them as lessons instead of burdens. Remember, what seemed like an irreparable loss can be fertile ground for spiritual growth, and what once seemed like destruction can be rebuilt into something stronger and more meaningful. To transform pain into learning, start with a simple practice. Choose an experience that you consider an emotional wound. Write about it, exploring what happened, and then reflect on what you learned. Ask yourself, how has this made me grow? How can I use this lesson to help myself and others? Writing your story with honesty and compassion can help you see that what once seemed like a weakness can now be the foundation of your strength. Recognizing your pain is not a sign of weakness, but of courage. By allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you create space for healing and transformation. Vulnerability is the soil where God plants the seeds of a new purpose. Do not be afraid to revisit difficult moments, for it is in those places that you will find the deepest lessons. Remember, gold is refined in fire, and your soul will also be strengthened through hardships. Moments of pain often lead us to seek answers that the world cannot offer. In these times, suffering becomes an opportunity to turn towards the divine. God uses pain to remind us that beyond circumstances, there is a greater presence that sustains us. By seeking this connection, you begin to see that pain is not a punishment, but a bridge that leads you to a more intimate relationship with God. One of the most effective ways to connect with the divine in moments of pain is to practice inner silence. Set aside a few minutes each day to disconnect from external noise and turn inward to your heart. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and ask God to reveal the purpose of your pain. Sincere prayer and silence allow you to hear the divine voice, which often speaks in whispers. This is the space where you will find comfort and guidance. God communicates in mysterious ways, and often the answers we seek do not come directly, but as sensations, ideas, or an inexplicable peace. In the silence, you learn to distinguish God's voice from the voices of doubt and fear. When you offer your pains to God in prayer, He not only eases your heart, but also reveals the direction you should take. This is a process that requires patience and faith, but transforms your perception of the challenges you face. Faith is the anchor that keeps us steady when we face storms. In the most difficult moments, it is easy to feel that God is distant, but it is precisely in these moments that He is closest. When you choose to trust in God despite the circumstances, you open yourself to miracles and a deeper understanding of your spiritual journey. Pain may seem unbearable, but with faith, it becomes a reminder that you are never alone. Spiritual awakening rarely happens suddenly. It is a process marked by subtle signs that indicate you are on the right path. One of these signs is increased intuition. You begin to perceive connections that previously seemed invisible, and your ability to discern what is right for you becomes clearer. This spiritual sensitivity is an indication that you are more aligned with the divine purpose for your life. Another powerful sign of spiritual awakening is the ability to find peace even in the midst of storms. Situations that used to deeply disturb you now seem less threatening. This happens because you are learning to trust in God and see challenges as opportunities for growth. This inner peace is evidence that you are being guided by something greater than yourself. When you are ready for awakening, a deep desire for change arises. You may feel restless about your current life or an inexplicable urge to explore new paths. This desire is a sign that you are being called to align with your spiritual purpose. Do not resist this change. Embrace it as part of God's plan for your life. During the awakening process, It is common to feel that you no longer belong in the same places or circles you once frequented. This happens because your soul is being prepared for a higher level of consciousness. Although it may be uncomfortable, this feeling is a sign that you are transforming. Trust that God is removing what no longer serves you to make room for the new. One of the most revealing signs of spiritual awakening is the recognition of your true identity as a chosen one. You begin to understand that your journey, with all its pains and triumphs, is unique and has a greater purpose. This realization brings not only clarity, but also a profound sense of gratitude for everything you have experienced. After all, it is through your experiences that God shapes who you are destined to be. Have you ever thought that your pains may not be just suffering, but gateways to something greater? Many of us see difficulties as burdens or punishments, but in reality, they are divine invitations to grow and evolve spiritually. Each pain carries a deep message, a lesson that only you can decipher. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" This change in perspective can transform how you face challenges. There is no growth without discomfort. Just as the caterpillar goes through a painful process to transform into a butterfly, your pains are part of the process that prepares you for spiritual awakening. Every tear, every difficulty, every moment of darkness is, in fact, a way for the universe to shape you for something grand. It is through suffering that you begin to question, seek answers, and finally find the path to awakening. It is common to interpret pain as punishment, but this is a limited and distorted view. In reality, pains are signs that you are being called to something greater. God does not send difficulties to destroy you, but to refine you. Every challenge is an invitation to draw closer to your true essence, to understand that you are not just body and mind, but spirit, connected to something much greater. Your pains have a purpose, even if they seem meaningless now. They are here to help you access parts of yourself that you have not yet known. It is through suffering that you discover your resilience, your capacity to love and forgive. It is in this process that you find the strength to overcome any obstacle and reach levels of consciousness that once seemed impossible. Nothing in your life happens by chance, and this includes your pains. They are like invisible sculptors, shaping you to be prepared to fulfill the purpose that God has placed in your life. Each pain is a tool that helps you eliminate impurities and reveal the purest, most authentic, and powerful version of yourself. What you are experiencing today is the preparation for what is to come. To transform your pains into spiritual growth, the first step is to accept them. Resist the temptation to fight against them or run away. Acceptance does not mean resigning to suffering, but recognizing it as a necessary part of the process. When you accept your pains, you make space for them to fulfill their purpose in your life. Healing begins the moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" It may be difficult to believe now, but your pains have the power to bring forth the light within you. It is in the darkest moments that the inner flame shines brightest. God would never allow you to face challenges without also giving you the tools to overcome them. Trust that each tear is watering the soil for something wonderful to bloom. Your pains are not here to define you, but to strengthen you. Each time you face a difficulty and overcome it, you become stronger, wiser, and more connected to your divine purpose. Use your pains as a springboard to discover your inner strength. Remember, pain is temporary, but the growth it provides is eternal. It is time to change the way you see your pains. Accept them as gifts, even if at first they seem wrapped in suffering. Behind each pain, there is a lesson, an opportunity to evolve, a step closer to your destiny. Each difficulty is a gift that prepares you to be the best version of yourself. Your pains are not the end, but the beginning of an extraordinary journey. They are proof that you are being prepared for something greater, something you may not fully understand yet. Starting today, decide to take a practical step. Accept your pains as a divine gift and allow them to reveal your true inner strength. Share your story in the comments, inspire others, and remember, you are not alone. Your spiritual awakening journey is just beginning. Thank you for accompanying me this far. If this content resonated with your heart, follow the channel, like, and share this video with those who might also relate. If you want to discover the 7 most powerful spiritual gifts that only true chosen ones receive, the next video is for you. Click now and discover.